everybody, welcome to Niagara Wine Videos. I'm Brad and I bring the story behind Niagara's finest wines. And I know it's been a long time, but I've been busy doing lots of photography and videography for you guys to see. At the moment I'm actually editing some footage I got from the ice wine harvest at Pondview. It's absolutely freezing cold out. Yesterday was minus 9, and I think today was minus 14. So really cold out with the wind chill out in the in the vineyards in the middle of the country where there's no trees to shield you. It's so intense, the wind. You can't be out there for more than 1 minute or else everything will freeze, even with gloves on and a hat. My camera fell over a couple times. I broke a battery. The screen stopped working. It's very harsh, intense conditions to get video. And I know I probably sound like a baby because there's lots of people that work out in the cold every day. But I just want to hit on the fact that it's incredibly cold outside. It's incredibly hard work for everybody involved in the production of ice wine, and being part of it really opened my eyes to just how difficult it is. And I think every bottle of ice wine should come along with a couple pictures or a video to show you just how harsh and freezing the conditions are for everybody who's working in netting the grapes in the beginning, then making sure the grapes are okay from birds and disease and rot, and then the harvesting, the picking of the grapes, and then the pressing of the grapes, and moving everything around in bins and dumping and crushing and then moving, and I mean everything. It's pretty intense. It's freezing outside, so double thumbs up to proprietors that make ice wine because it's delicious, and a huge shout out to everybody involved in the production and the harvest of ice wine, because I think they deserve a pat on the back. A lot of these seasonal workers that really do a lot of strenuous hard work to make this delicious juice that we all drink. So just editing that, but I thought, hey, you know what, why not have a wine and enjoy myself editing in the process. So I've got a wine that was recommended to me from a colleague, and it's a Rockway Vineyards small lot. I know you can't see that. It's a MERITAGE. So it's a blend of all three grapes: Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. So we got 38 Cab Sauv, 38 Cab Franc, and 24 Cab Merlot if you do the math. 13% alcohol, which is really cool. So they've kept it low, just like they do, in the finest wines in Bordeaux. And this wine here, Rockway's got a new winemaker, and he's doing everything right. It's got the cool labels for one, but that's just marketing, Shazam, pizzazz stuff. But in the vineyard, when I used to golf at Rockway, Glen, because it's a golf course, I used to look around and think, wow, these vineyards look like weeds, like just grown vineyards that just look like weeds. So I imagine that he has got control of the vineyards, because we all know wine comes from a vineyard, not from a wine room. Okay, wine is made in the vineyard, so he's got to be cropping the vineyards back. Hired a vineyard manager probably to make sure things are in pristine condition instead of being weeds. And believe it or not, Rockway is going to establish itself as an actual winery now, not just a golf course. People might actually start thinking of it as a winery because the wine is damn good now. Last year I had a couple Cab Francs and their Clubhouse Red, just a run-of-the-mill blend with the Clubhouse Red has Bac Noir in it. Hybrid varietal, and a lot of people diss on that, but it really rounded out the wine, and it was delicious, and it's about $15 a bottle. This MERITAGE, like I said, was recommended by a colleague. You heard it's amazing, so let's do in classic fashion a pop and pour and see what the heck we get from that. Usually you don't get anything close to what you're supposed to get unless it's a special type of wine. And then I'll let it sit out for about an hour, and then we'll do another tasting to see what it tastes like. So again, we're tasting it's a 2011 MERITAGE, and I must say 2011 got dissed on a bit because 2010 was super hot, dry vintage. 2012 was either hotter and drier, and it got stuck in between those. So a lot of people just said, oh, I'll buy the 10s or I'll wait for the 12s. Well, 2011 was actually a really good vintage. Maybe not as heat driven, but classic, typical vintage for Niagara. Made some very beautiful balanced wines, and I've had a lot of nice wines from the 2011 vintage. So it really surprised me. I was either one of those people that said, "Oh, forget that, I'll wait," right? 10 or 12, but 11s are actually pretty good. So let's see how this is here. I'll just pour some. And you can see the color. Right away I notice the color, very dark. That's good for a Meritage. Great nose. Right off the bat I got some cinnamon and tobacco there. Yeah, black cherry, cinnamon, tobacco. Some nice nutmeg actually. And vanilla. It smells cool right now because it just came out of my cellar. But I'm sure it will warm up into a nice, probably a warmer nose, like softer, more rich vanilla notes. You do get that oaky, smoky smell, which is great for Bordeaux. I mean, I think most people that like, big style wines like that oak flavor, like the vanilla. People that drink, Scotch or bourbon from Kentucky, it's aged for a couple years in a barrel, and when you drink it, it's smooth, and you have that nice vanilla, woodsy taste to the bourbon. I mean, that's why people gravitate to, big, full-bodied reds, right? Same type of thing. So, a lot of people are scared of oak. The oak, the Gary Vaynerchuk, the oak monster. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with it, and there's a reason why I use it. It smoothes out the tannin in wine, adds a little vanilla. It's a nice complement to the fruit. So let's just give it a taste here. Great mouthfeel. Super creamy. Really intense, super fine tannins. Wow, this wine is really showing well right now, just as I popped it and poured it. So it's going to do fantastic after an hour. Wow, this is stunning. I never would have thought Rockway would produce a wine of this caliber. This is incredible. Even some black pepper grinds on there. Rich cherry tobacco with charcoal notes. Wow, tight finish. Super fine grained tannins. This is a beautiful bottle of wine. Wow. And for the price, I think it's $20. This really drinks about 3 times as high as that. About $60 a bottle. I would pay for this. This is incredible stuff. Okay, so initial impression of this wine, outstanding. I'm glad it was recommended to me. I can see why it was recommended to me. Right off the cuff, I'd probably give this 91 points, popping pour. Maybe after I taste it, I'd give it 92, 93. It's that good. And for $20, that's a no-brainer. I would probably buy a box of this stuff. Wow. So, see you in an hour. Again, we're tasting the 2011 Small Lot Meritage from Rockway Vineyards, a winery. Not just a golf course anymore. Okay, and we're back, and the wine is warmed up. It's had a chance to breathe. That means the air has got to it, which helps release some of the nuances, flavors, and adding to all those beautiful notes that I gave you before. It's got this really nice dried, leafy character to the nose and palate, almost like a prune or raisin note, which some would associate with the fruit being cooked or overripe, but it's not that way. It's still very fresh. It's just got these really nice dried, cool fruit flavors, almost like an Amarone, or sometimes in Italian wines in general, you get these cool dried leafy notes and dried grape notes, if that makes any sense. So it's really, really nice. It's got leather too, though. So I mean, like I said, that dried leather flavor, I don't know. Definitely got like a hint of sweetness, but finishes super dry. It's a dry wine, don't get me wrong. It's not so a sweet wine, but like a Ripasso, I guess. Maybe that's what I'm getting at. It's very close to a Ripasso, so it's not, you know, huge and tannic like the Amarones. It's more approachable and suave, super fine tannins, but you have these secondary flavors which really, you know, pumps up the score in a wine. You know, wine nerds love it when you get a wine that, you know, meets the 90 point scale test or mark or whatever. You know, it's made correct, and then it has these secondary flavors which really, you know, impresses, you know, wine nerds like myself. So I would rate this, believe it or not, I'm gonna rate it 92 points, 92, 93 points. Seriously, check it out. Wow, it's incredible. What the heck, 93 points. Awesome wine. I love it. So that's it. Rockway Vineyards 2011 small lot MERITAGE from the 20 Mile Bench. That's in Niagara. Bam! Beautiful, beautiful wine. 93 points, 20 bucks. That's a winner, folks. Just let you know, my best of video coming out very shortly, I promise. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is definitely on it for the best finds of 2014. Incredible, incredible wine. So hang in there. I got my best of show coming up, and 2014, what an incredible year. I loved 2014. Amazing things happened in my life in 2014, and in the wine world. My God, like I said, you're dealing with the best wines coming out in Niagara. 2010 vintage was incredible. So the ones that were released late, I'm not going to say who they are because one of them is my top wine of the year. 2011, bam, a lot of people overlooked it. Wines like this are definitely going to be on it. And 2012 wines were released as well this year. So you're getting a taste of these incredible, huge structured wines. They're going to age beautifully. They're beastly wines, though. You can't, like, it's unfathomable that they come from Niagara. People won't believe it, but they do. So, my gosh, our terroir here in our climate is finally pumping out some world-class wines to compete with everything else. So, yeah, best of video coming soon. Promise you won't be disappointed. But this year it's all about hard work, dedication. No big surprises, just reputable wineries making reputable wines. So just hard work, dedication, love, passion, and these you'll see the wines that I've chosen. Not a big surprise, but if you don't drink them on a regular basis, you're missing out. Okay, you're really missing out because. Like I said, hard work and dedication throughout the years and showing a pattern of consistency really pays off in my book, and that's exactly the wines that I've picked, what they've done. So tune in for that. That's coming soon, I promise. See you soon. Cheers.